In this video, we're going to take a look at activity 225 called CAD Design Tools, and we're going to be modeling the water heater tube found in the activity. So in order to get started, I'm going to click on Sketch, and I'm going to choose the front plane in order to start sketching on that plane. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide these principal work planes, and then that way I just have the sketch plane visible. I'm going to click on the View Cube to front to turn this to normal. And I'm going to go ahead and start drawing with the line tool from the origin, constrained, and point of the line to the origin, and the opposite line at an arbitrary length here. Right click, say Escape Line. I'm going to choose the arc command, 3-point arc, choose the end of the line I just drew, put the other point up above, and go ahead and put the arc right here. Take my line tool again from the end of the arc. I'm going to stop short right here at the end, stop short of where I hit at the bottom line. I'm going to go ahead and throw a few geometric constraints on here. One will be a vertical constraint between the end of the first line and the center point of the arc. And then I am going to throw a tangent constraint on the top line to the arc, and I believe the bottom line to the arc as well. Dimension. You can see the bottom line is going to be 2.31. The top line is going to have, in this case, we have a little tapered end there that is 0.25 in length. I'm going to omit that, so I'm going to take 2.06 minus 0.25 because that tapered end is going to be modeled in another operation. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose the top line and choose the bottom line, and the distance between those will be 1.95 as noted by the drawing. This gives us a fully constrained sketch, which I'm going to go ahead and hit the green check mark to finish. From here I can right click and choose isometric to put this in the isometric view. And from there I can go ahead and choose the sketch option, and I'm going to choose the right plane from the browser to start sketching on it in order to have a second profile in which we can sweep. I'm going to turn this to the right. I'm going to pan down so that way I can see the origin. And I'm going to draw a circle, set the center point on the origin, click to set it, dimension the diameter of the circle as noted by the drawing. The outside diameter of the tube is 0.37. From here, I can finish the sketch since it's fully constrained, go to the isometric view, and run the sweep command. I'm going to choose the circle as the profile, and I'm going to have to go up here to the dialog box, choose the area where it says sweep path in red, and then click on the bottom line, click on the arc, and then select the top line to go through and sweep the circle about the path. I'm going to hit the green check mark. From here, I'm going to go ahead and click Sketch, and I'm going to choose the front work plane, and I'm going to do the tapered extrusion to do that. So I'm going to click on the front on the View Cube, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose the Use Project / Convert option, and I'm going to choose the end line, the vertical line of the end of our water tube on the top. I'm going to take my line tool and I'm going to draw the profile, half of the profile, for the extrusion, for the tapered extrusion. So I'm going to choose the top end point of the line, draw down at an angle, draw down a certain amount, and then when I come over to connect, I'm going to go till I find the midpoint, which is going to be noted by a yellowish kind of orange square. When I do that, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to right click and say Escape Line. Now in order to force some geometry to the way that I want it, I'm going to choose the horizontal constraint, and I'm going to click on that horizontal line. That endpoint is constrained to the midpoint of the vertical line, and that's why that is moving like that. I'm going to go ahead and run the dimension tool. The width of this is going to be 0.25. And then they don't provide a taper angle, but I'm going to put one on it. From this line to the angled line, I want to set in here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I want to set a 10-degree taper angle for this here. So it looks pretty appropriate for what our drawing is giving us, and it fully constrains the sketch. I'm going to hit the green check mark. From here, I can go ahead and I'm going to choose the Revolve tool. I'm going to choose the profile that I just sketched, and I'm going to go over here and choose revolve axis in red, and then I'm going to choose the bottom line of that profile that I just sketched in order to revolve that shape around the axis. And I'm going to choose the green check mark. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to shell. So I'm going to go up here to the shell option. If you look at the shell thickness, it's set at 0.1. If we choose the endpoints of our tube heater, is the holes don't look near as big as what they should. And the reason why that is because the shell operates by a radius and not a diameter. So here, instead of 0.1, I actually need to divide that in half, so it needs to be 0.05. When I click out of there, now you're going to see the proper hole sizes on the ends of the tube. And I'm going to hit the green check mark to accept the shell. Okay, the last thing that we're going to add is the threading on the bottom. And in order to do that, right before your search tools, you're going to have an option, and it looks like a plus sign called Add Custom Features. So in here, I'm going to look under the Community Spotlight, and I'm going to find the Thread Creator, when you can also search for it here in the Community Thread, and hit the magnifying glass. Okay, no results were found, so maybe that option doesn't really work very well. But you're going to be able to scroll down, and you'll find Thread Creator Beta. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose that option. And in order to add it to your toolbar, you just click on the name like that. Mine, it was already in there, so it was removed. If I want to add it, I just click it. And if you want to remove it, you just click it again. And it's like a toggle. So I'm going to make sure that it says this was added to my toolbar. And I'm going to close the menu. I'm going to hit the little drop down arrow next to that plus sign, and I'm going to say choose the Thread Creator. From here, I'm going to pick toward the end of where I want the threads to be applied. And then I'm going to choose a few different options. One will be, as I take a look here, it's going to be the pitch. So I want to go through and set, this will be a 1/16 pitch that I will set. And you're going to see it will update there. So now we won't be able to see through the tube since we had the pitch decreased. Number of starts will be set at 1, and instead of fully threaded, I'm going to hit the drop down arrow and I want to choose distance. And for the thread length on our drawing, we have this set to 0.5. We'll see that update here in our model. And then what we can go through and have is the start taper. I'm going to go ahead and check that. And that's going to be on the end there, and I'm going to set that to 45 degrees. And I'm going to hit the green check mark. So this will set the threading there on the end of our water heater tube, and we have everything shelled out, ready to go, and everything is well done. So you can see that is a lot easier. The other method would be to create a triangle and sweep it along a helix. Thread Creator goes through and helps with creating threads in a very easy manner. So this video concludes how to create that water heater tube element in Onshape.